What it is, y'all? Welcome to another video and a brand new game on the channel. If you guys are enjoying this content, if you're hyped for this game like we are, make sure you hit that old thumbs up button and consider giving us a subscribe down below as we are quickly trying to approach that 10K margin. Now, let's go ahead and talk about My Hero Academia, the strongest hero, basically a 3D RPG for your phone that is really interesting and has proven to be a ton of fun. So let's get into this really quickly, and I'm going to turn my audio up here a little bit so y'all can hear a little bit more of the game noise. Hopefully that's not too distracting. Now, what are we looking at here? Well, very simply put, the first time you log in, because this is, as you noticed in the title, this is a reroll tutorial, more and or less. Now, with the reroll tutorial, this screen right here is probably the most important thing you need to know at this stage of the game. Now, what I'm about to tell you will hopefully be fixed very soon. And I mean very soon. But it seems right now that guest logins are broken. Now, typically in a game like this, you want to use the guest login. If you use a Google account or a Facebook account, you're pretty much locked down. Like, you can, when you go back into the game, it's automatically going to pick up where you left off, no matter how much of the game data you delete. So the exception to that rule would be with Google. If you make a bunch of mule Google accounts, you could actually do what we're about to do. Just know that you would basically need to purge those accounts, and it's to be a major pain in the posterior. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and do a guest login. Now, the big problem with guest login is what I'll show you right here, right now. Okay? It says, please link an account as soon as possible to secure your account. So, if I click link, account linking function is temporarily unavailable. Now, it says temporarily, but according to their Twitter account, this is kind of indefinite. They're not sure when or even if it'll be fixed. But, yeah, if you're going to reroll, this is kind of the way to reroll. The problem is you could lose the account. Hate to say that, but it's true. The best way you could probably handle this, like I said, make a bunch of mule Google accounts. Best way you can do it. And really, it doesn't take much to set up Google accounts. I have like 7 or 8 of them that I use for varying purposes. So I could reroll with my accounts, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it with a guest account here, just because, well, that's going to kind of be our easiest method, all right? Now, when you get it here as well, it's going to basically set you up with a server. Just choose whatever default server you've got. The other servers are going to be so insanely full right now, it's not going to be worthwhile. My first account was on server 1, and now we're on server 37, okay? The other thing to do, if you want the story recap, you can use the story recap that basically is going to go over basically the origin of My Hero and all that, but we're not going to do that today. We're just going to skip all of this, and we're going to go right into the gameplay, all right? So, this will take us a few moments to load here, but once this is done, basically what's going to happen is it's going to take us right in to a tutorial. Now, I will warn you, this tutorial does take a significant amount of time, and it is not the easiest thing in the world to navigate or get through, okay? But we're just going to click through it as quickly as possible. Our fights are probably going to be a little quick and dirty because, well, I'm on an emulator, and it's not the easiest thing to play this on an emulator. I don't have the keyboard functionality quite hacked yet, but you'll see what I mean here in a moment. All right? So literally, none of this is important. We could do like a whole, like, opening the game tutorial at some point, but you guys want to know how to reroll and how to get the right characters and which characters you want. Now, here's the other thing that's really interesting with this. Okay, Agency Security Manager. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and hit this die roll thing here, and it's going to give me just a random name. Like, literally, you just click this, and it just generates a name. Did they have a single name up there? Whatever, doesn't matter. If you want to lock down a name, you probably need to do it now. Each server can only use a name once. So if somebody's on that server and they have your name, you're kind of done. So if you want to lock it down, now's the time. I'm sure account transfers and things like that will be available at a later date. But, you know, it is what it is. For me right now, I'm not too terribly worried about that. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a random name, hit confirm. Once again, this is a guest account. And for me, this is a burner. All right. Let's go ahead and get in here. Now, we'll get to units here in a minute. But for now, let's just go ahead and get into the gameplay and show you basically what you're going to have to go through in order to basically reroll. So we're going to click here for the hero certification. This is going to take us to basically just another screen where we've just got to do more stuff. Click in progress. Let's go. And if you click this little button right here, he'll actually run much, much, much faster. And I don't know why it's running like... It's running pretty poorly at the moment. That's fine. Not too terribly important. Alright. So you're going to click Activate Rights. Like I said, this is kind of annoying, but it's what you got to do to get in for the reroll. Bada bing, bada boom. And we're just going to skip all of this. It's not too terribly important. I would recommend reading everything and going through everything the first time you're in there. But for the purposes of the reroll, you're going to be doing basically what I'm doing here. He's going to be mad at you that you hung up on him. Just hang up on him again. It don't matter. For the first playthrough, it is important, but honestly, for this, for the reroll purposes, you're already going to know what he's going to say. All right? So you got to click here. You got to deploy Deku, and let's go. Okay. That's going to take us back to Death Arms there, and we're basically just going to go through our first couple of fights. And you do have to go through this. This is going to take a significant amount of time. Now, you'll notice, once again, I am clicking through this pretty fast. If you want more tutorials, definitely read it. But for now, you want to know what to get to with the rerolls. So, let's skip this little cutscene here and just get to the fight. Now, this is going to teach you how to do the fights, so it is pretty important you pay attention to this. And basically, it's teaching you, like, the main combo right out of the gate. But for me, I'm just going to spam base attacks, and that's going to be more than enough to get us through here. It's really not going to change the ultimate landscape of the game. Alright. And he's dead. Alright. Now, let's go ahead and run over to these guys real quick, and... like I said, just spamming attacks kind of is your best option at this point, and they're not tough enough that they're going to survive it, so. Boom. What's up, nerd? Kick-a-doo while he's down. That is the goal of the, that's how you beat him quickly. Just, doesn't matter if he's down. There is no honor. I know you're a hero, but, I mean, I guess, when in Rome, do as Bakugo do? Whatevs. It don't matter. And yes, unfortunately, this is kind of the necessary evil. You're just going to go through the rolls here. You're just going to go through the steps, and it isn't going to be the most fun thing you've probably ever done. But hang with me here, guys.
5 minutes later.
So now we're in the boss fight. And once you get here, this is kind of our last step. Now, he's a little bit of a tough one, but I found he's not completely insurmountable. It does pay to, like, do some running around and some escaping. But if you're just going to be persistent like me, it's not the end of the world. Though, you do want to get out of the way of these things. The nice part is he's going to tire himself out in the moment, and that's just because, once again, this is a tutorial and they want to make it fairly easy.
Just then.
There you go. After he does that big attack, he's basically dead. I know I was losing a lot of health there, but... there you go. That is pretty much that. Now comes the important part. Alright, so I'm going to relocate myself over here so we can see this a little bit better, because this is where we can finally do our summons. Alright? So you will notice that we get, level 7, blah, blah, blah. Let's get through all this. And we finally have Kaminari's full thing unlocked. Okay? Let's just go away. A lot of that is just sales garbage. And this game is thirsty. Don't get me wrong. This game is very thirsty. But this is the important part. On the first summon, every single time, you are only going to be able to obtain Kaminari. 100%. All you got to do on this thing is just draw a little squiggly line. Doesn't matter what you do here. And you will, every single time, you will get the B Kaminari. There's no way around it. There's no one else you're going to get there. You will 100% get him. And the long and the short of it is because getting new units is fairly rare. So I'm going to show you how to do this one more time. So you'll notice over there at the very top on the right-hand side, there's a couple icons at the top. One of those looks like a little gift box. If we go over here and we select that, that actually is going to give us basically all of our rewards. Now you'll notice here that for our daily login, we're actually going to get another ticket. So we're going to get a brand new ticket for summoning. That's really nice. There's also daily login bonuses here. We'll go ahead and collect that. And Hero Supply will give you some food. That's pretty cool. Stamina full, no need. Okay, so we can actually use that to restore stamina later on. So, handy dandy that. Now, the rest of this is where the game gets a little thirsty. Like, that many screens to spend money is a little excessive. But I'm sure enough people are going to do it. Yours truly isn't. I'm crazy, not stupid. But we might do a little bit of that at some point in time. Have a little bit of fun with the game. But that's one set of rewards. The other thing to do, if you go over there to the UA icon here, the lower right-hand corner, click on that. Now, there is the recruit button over there, the one we use to actually recruit units. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our pre-reg bonuses. So right above me, there's a little icon that looks like an envelope with a little red dot on it. And if we click on that, it's going to give me a bunch of rewards. So it says here, this is just basically like a welcome to the game reward. That's pretty handy. 100 of those will go very far. But here's our pre-reg rewards. 200 more of those bad boys. And another 10 tickets. Plus a bunch of other stuff. Like, this is really, really, really handy. So, I believe everybody right now is actually in this, whether they pre-regged or not. So, that's pretty cool. So, I'm just going to delete all these old mails. We're going to go back. And now, we're going to go to that little recruit button over here. Now, we could do some serious summons. All right? Now, like I said before, this is where all your banners are going to be. So, basically, you'll have like several here you could scroll through, but this is just the entry level banner. We'll probably get more banners here in the next couple of weeks, but for now, this is what we're going to get. And as I believe I showed you before, maybe I haven't showed you yet, I'll just cover it just in case. If you click on the little details icon here, and you go to drop details, these are the 4S units that are actually included in this banner. I don't believe All Might is available yet. Maybe if you get the shards and collect them, I believe that actually might be a thing. But these are all the units we could potentially collect today. Now, of these, and let's just cover the S's because those are the ones you really are going to care about. And these are the ones you're re-rolling for. Tokoyami and Momo are the two that are because I cannot pronounce her other name, are the two that are actually the most useful. Todoroki and Bakugo, apparently not very good in the long run of the game. They'll probably get you through the early portion of the game, but if you want a unit that's going to last a while, Momo's really the best, Tokoyami's really number 2. Beyond that, the other two are apparently going to run out of steam fairly quickly. So, pun not intended, but hey, it is what it is. So, if you're really after this, and if you're really going to reroll and you're going to do this seriously, go after either Momo or Tokoyami. Now, there are also A-level units you can get, and B-level units are pretty much your most common. Those are going to be basically a 4% drop rate, 3% drop rate, and a 1.2% drop rate for an S tier. Now, there are also shards you can get. Memory shard, that basically is going to allow you to eventually assemble a unit. But we're really looking for, on the reroll, either Momo or Tokoyami. So let's go ahead and do a couple of summons and see what we get. Now, we can do a multi since we just got those big rewards. And let's see what happens here. All right, once again, draft your little signature here. And we got, okay, all right. Red Right is hilarious, so I'll take that. So that is our only unit. You are guaranteed, and I will show this actually right here, right now. If we go to details once again, basic rules, every 10 attempts you're guaranteed to get a character. So basically you're guaranteed to get somebody on that roll. Unfortunately, we kind of like got the base level unit that you're guaranteed to get. We didn't get much better than that. Every 30 attempts you're guaranteed to get an A class, and every 100 attempts you're guaranteed to get an S class. So, you know, you can't get too badly shafted here. Though I think 100 attempts is fairly ambitious. we'll see what happens when we get into the game. But let's go ahead and do these last 4 single summons. See what we get. I think there's other animations, but I don't know what they are. So I swear I've seen a red one before, but maybe it's just my memory playing tricks on me. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Alright, so we're just getting shards right now. Can we get another character? Come on. Come on. One more try. Can we get an S-class character, please? I've only gotten one on one reroll, and that was Bakugo. So, I actually did reroll that account because Bakugo not the best. Oh, okay. Alright then. Hey, he's an A-class hero, though. So, I'll take that. That's actually better than what we've had. So, interesting. But, as much as I say I'll take that, you know, actually I would like to reroll. But, you know, one other thing we can do, and I will say this. We have a chance to get one more quick summon. So, you notice that we have 300 of the big coins over there. If I click the little plus sign here, I can actually, for 250 of those big coins, get one more recruitment ticket. And we might as well. I mean, we're re-rolling right now. We're trying to get what we can get. So before we get too much deeper into the game, and there's a lot more of these tickets you can get as you're playing the early levels of the game. I mean, they're really there just to help you. Highly unlikely, but let's see. We got a shard for him. Great. Great. So we didn't get anything that we wanted. So now, here comes the interesting part. If you're on Android, if you're on an emulator or whatever, this is the part where you could really, really begin to, like, I guess, take advantage of the system here. So, not really happy with what we got. We want to reroll. How are we going to do that? Well, when I bring my menus up over here, if I just kind of minimize the game here, let's go back to the basics here. And I'm going to close the game, and I'm going to go over here to settings. Okay. Now, settings is going to be a different place on everybody's phone or tablet or wherever. But just know you need to go to settings, go down here to apps, and strongest hero. Now, obviously, we've already closed it, so we could do a force stop here, but we don't need to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to clear cache, and you're going to clear data. This is really important. I don't know why the cache didn't completely clear, but whatever. So clear cache and clear data, make sure all that is at 0. Now, when you log back in, that guest account is gone. The downside is if you are logged into Facebook and you log back into Facebook, your Facebook account is still going to be there. If you log back into any other Google account, that Google account is still going to be there. So that's why I said if you're really going to do this, you kind of honestly need to use like a mule account or something of that nature. Like I said, I got 4 or 5 of them, so for me, it's not been a big deal. Eventually, hopefully, transfers actually do become available, but right now, they're kind of mitigating rerolls as it seems. So if I go back in here, it's going to make me go through the download process again, and this is going to take for bloody ever, so I'll spare you the details, but now you'll actually be able to go in here and reroll your account. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Hopefully that's pretty straightforward. I'll show you the screen here in just a second.
One eternity later.
So now that we're back in, as you can see, we are basically going to be faced with the same thing we saw when we first started this up. No different. It's going to give us a new server. It's going to give us everything. Now, I do want to emphasize once again, we got to download these sets. If you decide to do this, and you do it with a guest account, do understand there's a likelihood, a very slim likelihood realistically, but a likelihood that you might not ever be able to associate this with a Google or Facebook account. Realistically, I don't see that being in the long term, but it could be some time while they're trying to mitigate rerolls. That's just the reality of apparently the life cycle of this game. Now, if you do decide to do Google accounts, like I said, you can open multiple Google accounts. They're very easy to open. It really isn't going to be no skin off your back. And it's going to take you very, very, very little time. To be honest, though, for me, I hate to say I did just like open one account. I kind of did. I got frustrated with the reroll process. So I'm kind of biding my time and seeing if I pull anything really good, and then I might nuke the account. We'll see what happens. But for now, I'm going to soldier on with what I've got, which isn't even remotely good as it isn't even remotely as good as what we pulled a moment ago. But we're going to continue on. So here we are. Understood. Let's continue. And like I said, login method. Literally the same thing. So we'll just create a guest account. All right. And it's going to say, welcome back. But if I click link now, once again, it's going to say this function is temporarily disconnected. And if we go in here, notice we're in a whole new server. We were in 37 before. Now we're in 41. So, that be a thing. So hopefully this makes a lot of sense. And see, we're right back here to the beginning of the game. So once again, guys, if you're looking to reroll, it takes a bit of time. I know this was a long video, but I wanted everything to be in here that you're going to need. Realistically, I've done this in about 10 minutes or so. Honestly, realistically, when I'm just zooming through it. So it's not daunting, but it's not fun either, if I'm honest. But if you really are that, persistent, you really want to go after, the best unit in the game to start off with, here's how you're going to do it, guys. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments section. Are you guys enjoying the game? Let me know your overall thoughts of the game thus far. Personally, I've been enjoying it, but I got to go a little bit further in it to really see how the overall gameplay is. The tutorial takes for bloody ever, so I'm still in the middle of it, but let me know you guys' opinions. Like, comment, share. I'll be back with hopefully more of this game here for you guys really soon.